I hate to say it. I hate to bring up these words because they're just thrown around with every president, every politician. The words like tyrant, fascist, totalitarian. I mean, for years they called Obama, who was basically a moderate Republican. He legislated from the moderate right. He was labeled a Marxist. A fucking Marxist. Okay? Now, the only way we get to there is sheer ignorance. Like gale forced wind stupidity. And of course, that is dominant inside the GOP. So when you throw words around like fascist, it doesn't land well. When I say Donald Trump is a fascist, and the pathological right wing processes that, they're processing it in the fact that it's just a smear. Oh, Dave's just trying to smear. He's just trying to employ the same strategies that we do. Okay, and then therefore erasing the merit behind the words. Because Trump does have fascist instincts. He's pathologically narcissistic. He's completely irrational. He's totally racist. He's homophobic. He's transphobic. He's xenophobic. He has all the textbook characteristics of a fascist. So it poses a big problem when you hear this shit coming from the pathological right about Obama and Hillary being Marxists, communists, Antifa. It's so disingenuous. It's so stupid. It's so utterly fucking moronic to hear that coming from the pathological right that I just don't think it matters if I say Donald Trump is a fascist, because they just believe you're just name calling. Yeah. We did the same thing with Obama. Yeah. It doesn't land. It can't be processed. But if anybody goes and looks up the term fascist and fascist throughout history, they all line up with Donald Trump's behavior. That's irrefutable. But once again, you have to be willing to reason honestly, and you're not going to get that inside the GOP at all. So, that's a problem. But the second part of this is, how do you combat this? How do you combat a party, a leader, who has the literal instincts of a fascist autocrat? How do you combat it? And the only thing I know how is logic, reason, and a progressive political agenda. It's the only way I know how to combat the irrationality, the pathological narcissism, and hatred coming from the fascist right in America. Logic, reason, a politically progressive agenda that works for everybody, because fascists only care about themselves, and everybody else is the enemy. The other is the enemy. The immigrant is the enemy. The gay person is the enemy. You don't practice a religion like mine. You are the enemy. You're not heterosexual. You are the enemy. And if you're not the size cis, whatever the fuck, I always get that mixed up, cis white heterosexual male or person in America, you become the enemy. And that is not how it works in a functional democracy. And logic, reason, and a progressive political agenda are the only things I can think of to combat this fascist fuckery. If you have some ideas, if you have some opinions, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for letting me rant at you. Like and subscribe.